Do you know why the sun rises every morning? So the world and its hogwash can always capture your SOUQ smile as you flash it. A SOUQ morning to you and yours. Welcome to SOUQ News Television. I am Hans Mbah, and this show, the maiden one for today, is SOUQ Business Landscape. We take a look at headlines across the world and we talk to you about what's popping, what's really popping in the world of business, from publications to publications, continent to continent, city to city, country to country. We'll take a quick coffee break as usual. Well, some of us do coffee, others do tea, others just go the juice route, but it's a bit too early for that. Stay with us. When we return, we'll jump right in. We're here. Welcome back. It's still SOUQ Business Landscape. Remember, follow us across all social media at SOUQ News TV, SOUQ NEWS TV, at SOUQ News TV. Follow me as well. It's ike.mbah, as we take you from here to all the headlines when we get off this show. Quickly, we start off business day. Petrol use halves in validation of cross-border smuggling. Petrol use halves, the total use of petrol halves in validation of cross-border smuggling. It's bound to be something that will be a problem, smuggling, especially with the price having, what's the percentage now? Having tripled. So we're talking basically about 200 or 300%. So smuggling is bound to be issue when it comes to petrol. We'll segue away from that. That's what we can take for Business Day. Go copy it if you can and if you want to, and check out the rest of the headlines. We segue on to the next Business Daily. East Africa will drop off in Kenya. Land prices rise fastest as cost of apartments drop. There's really an irony here, but we'll let you figure it out as you go. So the 8.2% increase is purported to be the largest margin in nearly 1 decade on the back of investors that are seeking spaces or a space to build apartments, despite and amid concerns over a glut. Now, what's the big idea about this? We're talking land up, apartments down. The headline doesn't, land up, apartments down. But hey, I guess when you look at it on page 6, we get to figure out why that is how it is. KRA targets small traders with WhatsApp tax invoicing. This sounds good. KRA targets small traders with WhatsApp tax invoicing. So KRA is the Kenya Revenue Authority, been on the news a few times, past 3 editions of the show. So they're targeting to roll out a chatbot on WhatsApp, right? This is supposed to allow taxpayers to what's the word I'm looking for now? To generate electronic tax invoice. I don't know how that will work, but it helps them to generate, you know how there's the online, of course, the entrepreneurs and the ones without offices and trying to cut down on their spend. There's that app where you can send online invoices to clients. So I'm looking at this means something along those lines. So it will generate electronic tax invoice soft copy. And this is in a bid to further boost what they have called voluntary tax compliance, especially among small traders, like I said, entrepreneurs, SMEs and stuff. But what I don't know now is if this is a good move. We look to find out. Data now joint highest revenue stream for telecoms operators. Data now joint highest revenue stream for telecoms operators. I feel like this is a no-brainer because the way data is being consumed, internet is it's off the roof, right? So data services are basically now the joint leading source of revenue for telcos. This is definitely what it is. Alongside voice, maybe not much, but data, yes. Despite all the rivalry that is coming, of course, in Kenya, in the growing internet market, especially as there's new entry of cash-rich foreign players. That doesn't apply in Nigeria here, but Kenya is looking like they have new players, which is one of the reasons they think this is being driven up. But I say it's just part of your life. We go on to business day in South Africa. Tax dodgers rob the fiscus of billions. Big word alert, big word alert. Fiscus. So I feel the need to do this. So fiscus means basket or money bag, like a Latin word. You know, back in the day, those bags where you put your stuff and you tie the end. So that's, I don't know why they have chosen to use the word. So that's what fiscus means, and it came up back in ancient Rome. Usually the kitty, for lack of another word, where the emperor's treasury goes in. So everything that's collected from the provinces, the individuals, the markets, inheritances, gifts, everything goes in that bag. Fiscus. Okay. So that's fiscus for you. Well, South Africa Revenue Service has, what have they done with fiscus? Well, the commissioner, Kees Wetter, told MPs that an estimated amount of 800 billion rands, a whopping 800 billion rands of tax remained uncollected. This is annually though, from individuals, companies, organizations, firms, collectively. 800 billion uncollected. Wow. Okay. Foreign investors unlikely to snap up bonds. We're still on Business Day, South Africa. Foreign investors unlikely to snap up bonds. Now, this is what they're saying, that because they're unlikely to, or the reason why they're unlikely to snap up bonds, flock back to the bonds market, is until middle next year, when, as National Treasury data shows, that just more than 25% of government bonds are held by the same foreign investors. It just keeps circling around, which is not new. So this exodus of foreign investors is something that has been going on since 2017. I don't know if they're trying to curb it or if it's something that's celebratory. We will find out. Catch that news on page 17. All right, BRICS, chance to make a multilateral system more equitable. I don't know why BRICS has just been something I'm interested in, right? So this headline says BRICS, chance to make a multilateral system more equitable. So this is a beautifully written article by Ismail Lagardian. He's from the School of Journalism that's named after Nelson Mandela. Yeah, I'll get the name. I'll be posting this, by the way. It's a beautiful article. Okay, so let me quote him. This Schadenfreude is benign because passages are laden with trapdoors of hubris and self-senses of importance. My reaction is probably more correctly a sign of unsurprise. End of quote. Ismail he shoots a good breeze about the BRICS meeting that's currently happening in Russia. I'll do good to post this article. So follow us, SOUQ News TV, follow me, ek.mbah, and catch up on this lovely written piece. By the way, Schadenfreude means pleasure when someone, or well, not someone, when pleasure is derived from another person's misfortune. This is an article to see. All right, we'll segue on to Business Post in Bangladesh. You look at a few headlines. NBR negative growth persists despite slight improvements. NBR negative growth persists despite slight improvements. Bangladesh Bank raises policy interest rate to 10% to curb inflation. Bangladesh Bank raises policy interest rate to 10% to curb inflation. Bangladesh freezes 300 accounts in money laundering crackdown. Bangladesh freezes 300 accounts in money laundering crackdown. This is something that we must emulate in Africa. If I must say so myself, there's a lot of things that we need to put right, especially as a nation, where the government stands their ground and actually, like Doc says on the show, that the government's job is to mediate between the common man and the big corporations to make sure the common man is not downtrodden on and that he's taken care of. So I think it's something we must emulate here as well. We're moving on to Gulf Times in Qatar. Al-Attiyah International Energy Awards celebrate industry titans. Al-Attiyah International Energy Awards celebrate industry titans. So this was a very, very prestigious award that held at the Sheraton Grand in Doha last night. And it was just a really event with pomp and, you know, all the beauties. And they presented various Lifetime Achievement Awards across the board. And some of them included the MD, well, each of the MDs and the CEOs took the awards for their company. The Qatar Petrochemical Company took a Lifetime Achievement Award for Qatar's energy industry. Santos, which is a energy company, natural gas energy company, grabbed one Lifetime Achievement Award for natural gas advancement. And many others. It had about 300 companies there across the GCC countries, and it was a night of romp. Yeah, this was brought to life by ExxonMobil and Total Energies, of course, not an oil company in Qatar. Honorable feats, you know. It's good to always celebrate outstanding performance. It's something that when you watch this, you will see that is good to reward that, which is something we celebrate here at SOUQ News TV and the IL 104.9 FM. The Gulf Times reports on strong performance as it continues on the Gulf Times in Qatar. This one is on page 8. Amal 9-month net profit surges 13.9% to 302.4 million riyals. Amal 9-month net profit surges 13.9% to 302.4 million riyals, Qatari riyals. This is worth celebrating, and it's just the 9th month. We're still here. We just entered, we're in October, and the profit is through the roof. GWC posts 9th-month net profit of 147 million riyals. Another one. Qatar, GCC. Okay. GWC posts 9-month net profits of 147 million riyals. GWC is Gulf Warehousing Company. They posted their net profit during the 9-month period, which ended September 30th. GWC, being one of the fastest growing businesses in the MENA region of Qatar, reported total revenues of a little over 1 billion riyals and operating profits of 253 million riyals in the same 9-month period. This is such a great feat. especially in 2024. We still have about 4 more months or 3 to go. GWC, nice one. All right, we'll take a mini break and finish up our hot coffee as it cools. And when we return, we'll get on to Financial Express in India. Stay here. Financial Express India, our next headline publication. No recharge for MTNL. No recharge for MTNL. So the state-run telco had asked to speed up monetization as its government will no longer infuse any fresh capital into their ailing MTNL. I know that shook a few people. It's actually, MTNL actually stands for Mahanga Telephone Nigam Limited. So it says that it may not initiate, but its closure right away, as it will be done only after companies clear its liabilities. Once again, MTNL, right? It's Mahanga Telephone Nigam Limited. Is not MTN. The MTN you think it is. So, but what they're saying is it may not initiate any closure right away because government want to shut them down because business has been really extremely bad. And it says they won't close them right away, but would this will be done after MTNL has cleared a humongous liability that's around 32,000 crore, which is a lot of money. It translates to, converts to a lot of billions. Hyundai in reverse gear as stock debuts. Hyundai in reverse gear as stock debuts. Whoever wrote these headlines, really feeling himself right now. You know, Hyundai, reverse gear. Anyway, Hyundai launching the country's biggest initial public offering ever. Hyundai had a disappointing listing as they launched on Tuesday. And what happened, it lends credence basically because they have always said, like they said, it lends credence to something, that every initial opening IPO for the first day never does well, you know. So that trend they're hoping will break someday, but Hyundai didn't. So the Indian IPOs seldom do not do well on their first day. People have cried about. The stock fell nearly 8% in intraday trading, and it's just such I'm thinking that it may pick up as it goes. No hard and fast rule about things being bad because the first day was poor. Hyundai is, if not the biggest, I think the second largest automaking company out there. Adani buys Orient to top up cement play. Orient is bought over by Adani to top up cement play. Again, these headlines. The copywriter should be having a swell day. So the cement sector rivalry intensified basically further yesterday with Adani Group announcing this good news that he has acquired Orient. We're talking to the tune of 46.8%, 46.8. Does that mean acquiring? I don't know if that's what it means because the headline is saying it acquired, but it's saying the good news that they're dropping is it's 46.8% shares of the company. That might make them majority shareholders, but it's still less than half. And this news comes on the heel of Ultratech Cements, which only 3 weeks ago, of course, being India's largest cement maker, acquired controlling stakes in India Cement. So Adani, Ultratech acquired India Cement, Adani acquired Orient Cement play. Hey. All right, so that's it for Financial Express in India. We'll segue to Financial Times, UK Financial Times. HSBC boss draws East-West divide to steer lender through China tensions. HSBC, one of the top most banks out there. So the boss draws East-West divide to steer lender through China tensions. Now, under the plan, HSBC and Hong Kong businesses will be two of the 4 new standalone units at a lender that has touted its credentials for decades as one of the world's truly global banks. And it's not a bragging right here. It is just what it is, right? And the new CEO seeks to, one of the reasons why this claim is made, the new CEO says he seeks to cut costs, which will better navigate their geopolitical tensions between them. So they're coming together is something that is good for them. Now, our headline of the day. This is something that you'll be getting henceforth from now. Headline of the day: EY staff fired as multitask culture leads them to do many online courses at once. Again, headline of the day: EY staff fired as multitask culture leads them to do many online courses at once. This one, I believe, is for the zealous minds and ears, okay? So in Nigeria and in Africa at large, this one's for, oh yeah, okay, let's queue up now. So in the US, one of the big 4 accounting and consulting firms, we all know EY, Ernst & Young, they fired dozens. You know, when you hear staff, people think it's one person. They fired dozens of their US staff for what the firm called cheating on professional training courses. Now, this has sparked an internal debate between, basically amongst everyone involved, and business ethics that they say they have broken, and that it's also skirmishes around the limits of multitasking. Keyword here, multitasking, something that you must take away as well. So now this dismissal had happened, it took place, what day is that? Last week, after investigation found that some of the employees had attended, listen to this, more than one online training class at the time during there's an event they have, it's called EY Ignite Learning Week, right? So during the week, what they're accusing them of is that they have taken more than one online classes during this EY Ignite Learning Week. First of all, I don't know how this is a problem, but we go on. Now, the big 4 firms, all 4 of them, now have actually begun to take a tougher approach to policy that are rejigging and remixing and rewriting and updating, their policies all of a sudden, as they take a tougher approach to policing the professional training of their staff. We're talking the big 4 here now. Take note. Now, so after a series of cheating scandals, they have begun to do this. Cheating happens every now and again, so it's good to always fish out that 1 or 2 people and go on. But for one that stands out, in 2022, EY paid a whopping $100 million fine to the US Securities and Exchange Commission after it was discovered that hundreds of accounting staff answers on professional tests, and their firm leaders withheld those details from the regulators. So now they're saying where this is coming from, 100 million in fine. So now let me read what some of the staff who had lost their jobs said, okay? All right, so stay with me here. One consultant who was fired, one of them amongst the dozens, one consultant was fired, Friday last week, I was trying to get the date, said that there was no warning that watching multiple sessions simultaneously was not allowed. And he says, I quote, their emails marketing EY Ignite actually encouraged us to join as many sessions as our schedule allowed. Did you get that? Now, the second person who lost their job says, and I quote, "This breeds a culture, or rather, EY breeds a culture of multitasking." If this is not what that is, he's saying he doesn't know. That's what EY breeds. Now, a third person says, "I know a partner who will do 2 client calls." And I quote, "I know a partner who will do 2 client calls and switch their cameras on and off depending on who he is talking to." I'm trying to picture Zoom or and he has a screen here, he has a screen here. He talks to this person, he switches this one off. He talks to this person, switches this. And he goes on to say, if this is unethical, then I don't know if that is not unethical too. Right? So we're still, he says, EY has changed the way, the article further goes down, EY has changed the way that the EY Ignite events will go on this year. And they send out an email and says that, in quotes, "You should not take any other learning while completing this activity." And they said this on the verge of going based on their policy. When you look at their policy, that's why you must look at those thin, small, fine prints that say all these things. So this is a back and forth. It's something that should be pursued and followed up, and we will keep our eye on this news. All right. On to the next headline. Xi and Putin hail BRICS bond. Xi and Putin hail BRICS bond. So Vladimir Putin and Xi Jinping meet yesterday on the sidelines of a summit of BRICS countries' leaders, and Putin was hosting them in Kazan city in Russia. Are they going out to Russia with all this that's going on? Anyways, so the two presidents, head of states, if you may, have worked hard to make the group a counterweight, the group being BRICS, a counterweight to USA and Western influence. Now they're saying that 36 countries are attending this meeting, and of which more than 20 are represented by their heads of state themselves. Looking at this begs the question, a question in my mind. What are African nations' take on BRICS? What do we feel about it? Of course, there are African nations in BRICS, but what are the others doing? What are we talking about it? How do we feel about it? All right, that's it for us on the show today. My name is Hans Mbah. Remember, follow us across board at SOUQ News TV, and follow me. I am Ikenna, IKE.mbah. Follow us across social media, and I would share that headline of the day we talked about earlier. For more of this, follow us. Remember, when you comment, it's hashtag SBL. That's it for SOUQ Business Landscape. Stay on at 8 o'clock. Join us for news update and the beginning of another lovely show that's interesting and puts things in perspective for your business. Early Exchange. My name is Hans Mbah once more. Have a lovely morning.